Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about get with route parameter. So far, whatever example we have covered is it was related to the query params with get API, right? But now we are going to continue with the new concept, which is related to route parameters. So today we will see what is route parameter, how it is different from query parameter, and how we can implement it with the get API URL. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use get API with the route parameters. But prior to that, you should know what is get API and what is query params. So if you know about these basic things, then you can compare it with the route parameters, so that things would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Okay, and for that you can also refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find thousands of sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content. And in case if you have any questions related to that, feel free to reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions there. Okay. Alright, so let's see how we have implemented this demo using route parameters. So firstly, I'll show you the output. Here in the output you can see we have two headings: Angular course by Sharmit, get using route parameter. Okay, so we have these two headings. After that we have one horizontal row, and in between these two horizontal rows we have populated the data, that is user detail for ID, name and email. Okay, so some of you might be thinking like, same thing we already fetched, then why it is different? Because this time we are not using query params for it. Instead of that, we are using the route parameters. So that's the only difference between query param and route params. Okay, so I think this part is clear to everyone. Now I'll show you like the API that we are using. So this is the API that we are using for this demo purpose. It's a public API, so you can also use it. Is free of cost. Okay, so you can try to use it, and if you have any questions on it, just let me know. Okay, alright, so now I'll just walk you through the entire source code that we have already created. So for that, I'll show you everything from scratch. So let me clear this first. Okay, and as we all know, that first thing that we need to change in this is the app.config.ts file, because here if you do not add this provide HttpClient logic, so it won't allow you to use any API in your application. Okay, that's why it is very important to define and import this provide HttpClient. Once it is added, now you are good to use it. Okay, so always make sure it is imported, and once it is registered here with the providers, then you are good to use your application programming interface, that means API. Okay, now after that we need one component, and I'm sure like most of you already know how to create component, but still if you don't know, you can simply run this command: ng for angular, g generate, and c for component, comp1, and press enter. So once you press enter here, it will add the component comp1 with 4 required files: css, html, spec.ts and component.ts. So we have got this 4 file. Now from these 4 files, you just need to find the selector value. Okay, by default it will come blank. Okay, but you can look for this field, that is selector, and from here just copy this selector value, which is comp1. So once you copy it from here, then you can use this selector value in app.component.html to connect your comp1 with application. Okay, don't look at this code, I'll explain it later. For now, just copy it from here, selector. Okay, now after this, to make use of it inside a app component, you should first integrate it. So here I'm just importing comp1 component, and once you are done with the comp1 component, then you are good to use it inside your comp1 app.component.html file. So here you can firstly put all the required headings, like I put Angular course by Tech Sharmit, get using route parameters. Then we have this tag where we are utilizing those value which we copied from the selector. Okay, so app comp1 is the selector value. It will help us to connect our application with the main application. Clear? So I think this part is clear to all of you, that we have connected our comp1 with the application component. Now after that we will write the logic for the route parameter. So for that, let's go to comp1.component.ts. Here you need to import few things like HttpClient common module, because it is the thing that we are using in our application. After that, in your empty class, because if you create it from scratch, you will find this class empty, and here in this empty class you can put this users to store the data. So whenever API returns some data, we will store it into this user. Then we have constructor private HTTP client. So whenever you want to use this HTTP client, you will use the term HTTP. Then we have ng onInit method, and inside this we are using this dot HTTP dot get any, and this is my URL. But see, this URL is a bit different. Why? Because instead of using question mark symbol, we are directly using / and we are providing the value 1. And that's the difference between route parameter and query params. Why? Because in query params we know that we have one parameter and we want to filter it from all record. But in case of route parameter, we know the exact location where we want to go. Okay, so that's why we are just providing 1, so it will directly take me to the first record. Okay, so I'll also explain you this with the URL, so that you will get more clarity when we are on browser. So let's complete the code. So here we will get the response after subscribing it, and then we are storing it into users, and then we are using app.comp1.component.html to display the result. So here I'm just showing the result like user details, ID, user ID, name, email. So these all things are populated. Now I'll just simply run this command ngserve -open, enter. Just press enter here, and within few seconds it will open the application, and then you can verify whether it is working properly or not. Okay, so this is the data. Now I'll explain you how it is different from route parameter. So let's say we have this data, okay, and I want to check for ID 3. So what route parameter, what query param will do, it will firstly match it with here. If it is not 3, go for second record. If it is not 3, check for next record. So this is the way of approaching of route query param. But in case of route parameter, it will directly go to this location. It will not check in other place. It will directly go to the ID 3. Okay, so now you can relate it one example. Let's say there is one parcel there is one man who wants to deliver or drop out a parcel, and he just know the customer name. So in that case, he will reach out to the society where he want to deliver, and he will look for the customer in every house, which is then this scenario is called as query params. But if he knows the exact address where that person or that customer lives, he simply directly go there and provide the parcel. So that is route params. Okay, now I'll show you it practically. So after users, if I just put here question and ID 1, so it will go to the ID 1. But in case if I know that ID 1 is directly on first location, so I'll just pass here 1. This is called route params. Okay, so this is the main difference between route params and query params. Although there are so many other things that we should know about this, that step by step we will cover in the upcoming session. But majorly the difference is this: like in case of query param, we are going traversing one by one, and in case of route params, we are traversing directly to that value which we have passed. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today, and now you guys can do the practice on these concepts, because now we have started the new topic. So before we jump to the new topic, you should know about these basic things so that it would be easy for you. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.